Hello again, traders. Right, this is a bit of a pep talk video regarding psychology and patience and discipline and so on and so forth. And the reason you're looking at One's EA version 171 is because I'm using it to explain, for me, an additional unexpected benefit of just sending alerts to the phone. And sort of not staring at charts and waiting for a little arrow to come up on your chart, or maybe the RSI histo that doesn't show on here for some reason to trigger a buy signal. What you're looking at here, and the reason the reason I'm doing this is because I think it will benefit a lot of people to get themselves set up like this. And rather than staring at every single bar and so on and so forth, just get something that gives you a vague good entry, so you've got to play around with all the settings. I may have led people in the wrong direction when I said this is the standard settings. What I meant was it's One's EA on his website, and his standard set file will get you started. And that is just the start. Then you have to do, like I and many others of testers using this, thousands of hours. You may be lucky and just spend a few hours or a few weekends at it. But, so you got to do the work, getting the settings to work. And someone said to me, what do I look for? Well, all I'm looking for is it to match up with the RSI histo, the TMA slope. These are on here just pure MAs as opposed to the whole Sonic Dragon, because that slows the tester down too much. But this is just the 34 high and low, and this is just the 89. So what I want is perfect triggers above the 89, and it's called all averages, this indicator actually. And you set the colours to whatever you want, and the different EMAs rather, or MAs. These are just EMAs, so it's setting 3, and the 89, as I say, is the big one, and the 34 high and low is the smaller one, slightly thinner. So all I'm looking for is something that agrees. So I tweak and tweak and tweak the EA, test run hundreds of times, literally hundreds and hundreds of times, until it lines up exactly with the RSI histo and the TMA slope, and then I know I'm good to go. Now, what is really, really interesting about this is that I'll set it running actually, because you can see it moving forward. It's quite slow. Something else I've noticed, when you minimise the screen, it speeds up, and then you just minimise your terminal screen rather than watch it bar by bar, and you'll notice it speeds up substantially. I've never noticed that before, but it might be a worthwhile thing for you to look at. So if we look back, let's just look at this one for example. We've had a brilliant load of buys there. Oh, and the other thing people got confused about, and I actually admit I probably was the reason for that. Rather than the actual alert from One's EA, what I'm doing is just the alert to the trades. So the way One's EA works in this instance is it's putting limit orders on there, and the price comes down and it changes the position of the limit and limit and limit, and that's what the alerts keep telling me on my phone. It's not the alert from One's EA, it is the buy sell signal alert and alterations of the order. You can see it there. It would have given me a ton of alerts here now, and this is a pretty perfect entry. We've gone, even on the TMA, we've gone bust, pull back, bust down, pull back, break and close down. And there's the phone would have gone bonkers there. It would have gone bonkers there, and you can see we've got a massive move, even on this 5-minute chart. Now, the other thing I wanted to say, which I find really interesting, is that when you have an area of this busy area here or this busy area here, when price comes up and breaks through it, or starts to get interesting around there, you'll get these. You'll get a valid signal. everything will stack up on the RSI and the TMA, and all the other stuff that I use that I'm not using here because it slows things down, like the support and resistance indicator, and so on and so forth. They will all, and the RSI histo arrows, they will all agree. So we've got sort of belt braces, belt braces, belt braces 5 times over. And I know people think I'm a bit of a noob with all the alerts and indicators and things, but far from it. And this, I'm convinced, will help you enormously once you get it working. And you might not, you might not use the dragon. You might use an entirely different set of reasons for entering and exiting trades. That's fine. But I've never done this before, but any EA will probably pick some perfectly valid entries with your own method, and trade it manually, as it were. So as on Friday, I got up, I could see this area here, say for example, it's not, but something like this. I might I can see a congestion area there. I might have a few arrows on my charts, which are areas of interest. We've talked about that. Oh, we haven't even got the 3CR indicator on here either. It does work quite fine with the 3CR. It's not core heavy, as it were, CPU drain, but I just left it off for the moment. But so when price comes down here, I would be, I'd have all my 2B reversal looking patterns there, a down trend line, an up trend line, waiting for it to come to this area, and almost certainly if it does break this area, we will get a valid signal and a valid trade. So the benefits of using the EA just that way to send pings to your phone, and if I've put a link on my Twitter feed about how to set up the alerts to your phone, the pings of the trades, not the alert from the EA, I must stress that, then you just have a coffee, sit around, do whatever you like. When your phone starts going mad, make sure all the dots dotted, the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed, and you're good to go. So even here, look, we've not got a signal from the EA, but this is a test of that area. Next possibility, and I haven't watched this, I promise you, is potentially that'll go bonkers at that point there. So if it breaks down here, it will probably give a valid signal on both of these and go bonkers, so I'd get a perfectly good entry. It's as simple as that. And that's, for me, anything that stops you potentially pressing that trigger, or anything that makes you think carefully, very carefully, and prepare for trades. And like I've just said to you, now if this was in real time, I would be just gently watching this, making sure this looked right, making sure this looked right. And that is the benefit. I said this right from the start when Onesie shared his fantastic, and I can't thank you enough, Onesie, shared his fantastic EA with us. I said at the time, it picks perfect trades according to my strategy. And then I went off and tried to get the EA to work as a fully automated method. Still needs working on, as it were, but for the meantime, for the short term, just having this thing going off on my phone is absolutely perfect. So I'm going to go back and look at a few other examples. Oh, I need to take the scroll off. We'll put a vertical on there. Hopefully it will stay on the chart, so we know where we are. I'm too lazy to even look at the date, 10th of the 1st, and see whether it goes bonkers when it breaks that level, or see whether it goes bonkers when it comes off here. So scroll off and we'll have a look at a few other examples. Now we would have drawn a descending trend line there. We could see an area of interest there. There are fake signals, and I should talk about those as well. There are bad signals, but that might well be the time of day. It could well be, there will be a number of reasons why I don't get into those. I talked about that on my Twitter feed also as well. But as you can see, when it's come back and broken through that big time, that would probably give a valid 100 point trade or something, a good scalp. But these big ones are the ones I want to get. And as I said on the Twitter feed also, I want to be getting, well, the other reason for not getting involved in that excuse me, is we're not looking even remotely bullish. It's just a poke through the EMA, the dragon as it were, and you can see a proper bust, pull back, and the RSI histo probably would have given us a perfect entry there. It would have been all wrong here. So yeah, descending trend line, watching all the indicators. We've had support and resistance on there as well, and then you can see this massive move. Oh, and as I was about to say, I want to be getting the first move. Unfortunately the RSI isn't on here, but we would probably be looking at a strong area below the zero line as it were, and then a nice change of direction, and that is the ones I want to be getting, not just these little pokes through, and not these second and third efforts. One trade a day is all we need. That's also important to mention here. One good trade a day. Just set your charts up, wait, and let the trades come to you. Let's see what's happened over on that that situation. Yeah, see, no fake entry, fantastic. No preempting it, just wait for the phone to go bonkers like here and here, and you're good to go. So let's have a look at a few more examples. And time of day obviously is important. So also on my Twitter feed I mentioned the importance of the second break of the dragon. So we may well have not got involved in that, although there was a perfectly good trade there. The phone would have gone bonkers there, and we would have, as a scalper, I probably would have got out at this support level here over on the left. Well, you can't really see it unfortunately, but there it is there. So second entry, well, this again, time of day, this is a superb time to be trading, the Frankfurt session, and we've even got the third effort. I doubt whether I would have personally got involved in that, but saying that, again, we can see these levels of interest. We've created a level of interest, we've gone up, we've come back to test it. We see this 1,000 times, 10,000, 100,000 times on the amount of times I've been staring at charts. But it's so obvious when you're using this area of interest. It breaks out, lovely little scalp up there. And the moves are massive. These moves are massive for a scalper like me. Area of interest, it pops up, breaks down, and boom, massive move again. And it keeps doing it. Area of interest pops up, although this is really late. Not interested in getting in on that trade, but just for the video, it's worth noting these things. They are just unbelievable. So, and these massive moves as well. This one's tricky because the 89 EMA was seriously pointing down, but again, so I probably wouldn't have got involved in that. But this one here, utterly fantastic. Area of interest, it will be on your chart if you've got your it set up for your alerts. So all of these trades might have been on there. These aren't trades you would necessarily have taken, but look what happens when price drops below it. Everything starts to look good to the short side. Little punch down, little punch up, and then boom, massive moves. Area of interest here again, punched up. At this point the phone would have been going absolutely bananas, and then we've punched through that level again, and down we go, massive. One trade a day is all you need, guys, remember. So that's a non-trade. It's the wrong direction of the EAs and the MAs rather, and again wrong direction. Then finally breaks through the MAs, breaks through a clear level of resistance, and boom, massive moves. And that is an early morning move actually. So what can I say really, guys? And when you look at this, creating these patterns as well, you know, 1 2 3 lower high, 2B reversal patterns, break of support there, acts as resistance, first pop down, pull back, and then boom, when that phone goes mad, I'm all over it like a rash. So hopefully this shows you the importance of just something different on your charts. I've mentioned this time and time again. Old areas of interest, whether it's the RSI histo alert arrows from Dinesh, or it's the support and resistance levels, or it's old 3CR levels from Aaron's fantastic indicator. You have so many tools in your toolbox to just wait for that phone to go a bit bonkers and you know, that's the important thing. You've got time to draw a few levels, draw a few lines, study the TMA slope, study the RSI histo, maybe look for divergence as well, and it's all there on your charts. But it's a slightly outside of the box way to look at these things. I think so anyway. So, you know, old level, lovely, perfect 2B reversal situation going on here, and then boom. This is absolutely massive. On a 5-minute chart, this is a dream for scalpers. And I'm seeing my trade sizes in terms of pips, points, whatever you want to call it, are growing enormously. So again, area of interest, we would have had a descending trend line on there. Everything says wait for longs, and look what happens. Massive. That would be thousands of points there, hundreds of pips, whatever you want to call it. Area of interest pops up, breaks below the 89 EMA, and support, and so test, pullback, break, and bundles of pips in the tin. So I hope you take this whole video in the spirit it's meant, which is a bit of a pep talk, a bit of how to use a simple, well, not a simple, a very, very extremely good EA, but a simple method of just sending the orders to your phone and making it go bonkers to be able to plan your trades, trade your plan, and make money. And eventually you'll go from one trade a day to perhaps then converting to demo and taking 2 or 3 or 4, and then going back to your own main trading platform, as it were, live trading, and adding a trade when you build your confidence, and you understand that this just keeps repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating. And yeah, a point about the settings and everything, don't ask me the settings, guys. That's your job to work out the settings. What did that do? Is that, where was my vertical line? 10th, wasn't it? 10th of Jan. So let's see what happened. 10th of Jan, there you go. This was our area of interest here. It popped up, didn't break this area of interest, and then, like I said, we would have had a valid trigger there, and I would have been literally just waiting for that phone to go bonkers through that level there. So valid entry, and as I said before, it's crashed through that level, and the EA itself has made masses and masses of trades there. So thanks for watching. Have a great day, guys.